Well, good morning and welcome. It's Friday, yay! We'll get some yoga in, get a little bit of movement in, have some funsies, and get going with that stuff. I'm Janelle, if we haven't officially met, and I just love yoga. And this pandemic, or this time, I hate using those hype words, but this season is quite the adventure for most of us. And so I'm just trying to get some yoga out there into the world. So if you're joining me via the live, thank you for joining in. If you're rewatching, if you just want to drop me a comment and say that you rewatched it, that really kind of helps me know who's out there, who these are benefiting, who's trying it out, so that I know maybe like what time frames might work better, or what days might work really good, or you can just watch and follow along, or you can just watch it anyways, and it will be good as is. So welcome and good morning. Great to have you with me. I like to teach a gentle-ish style of yoga. So if you've been with me for a little while, you'll notice that I don't really do a lot of like the three-legged dog step to the top of the mat style of transitions. Everything is a little bit slower transition-wise. We don't power through anything because I want yoga to be sustainable. I want it to not ever injure the body, and I want anyone to be able to do it. So you don't have to be super flexible. You don't have to have a huge fitness background to jump in on these classes. They're really designed to just help you out with wherever you're at. They might still be challenging. They're definitely not easy. Some of the times I like to give some options to build it up, especially on these Fridays. But it's a chance for you to just explore and move a little more intuitively. I really want you guys to focus in on your bodies and what feels good, and that's why I actually take time to do kind of a long pre-shavasana, a long pre-settling down, getting into things. So as you're joining in here, you can start in a seated position, you can start laying down, anything that helps you start to notice your own body. Maybe you can start to calm down and actually settle into your own skin, starting to notice what there is to notice. Maybe you even close the eyes. Just kind of turning off one of the senses kind of helps heighten some of the other ones, so you can feel into the body on a little bit of that deeper level. Let's take a breath. Let's find a nice big inhale. And a big exhale, let it go. Whether you breathe in or out through the nose, doesn't matter, I'm not going to control that. But it's nice to have it be audible. So let's take one more, take a nice big inhale. And take an exhale, let it make a bit of noise. Letting it out. Feeling everything start to soften. You notice areas of tightness and tension, they always seem to speak a little louder wherever you're at. Maybe you roll the shoulders back and down, kind of fix the posture even in this stage. Feel how that feels, finding some openness through the collarbone. Keep breathing. Keep lengthening that breath, utilizing the whole space that you can create. That inhale, the exhale. Feeling the lung move, filling the entirety of the lung. Feeling how that impacts the rib cage. How that impacts the spine on that inhale. Can you feel yourself reaching a little bit taller, even if you're laying down? Another few breaths to start to really activate a little more into that diaphragm area. Starting to breathe even deeper. Feeling the rise and fall maybe through the belly button. You can bring a hand onto the heart or on to the abdomen if you really want to feel the movement, feel that connection. Just leave the hands off to the side, your choice. feeling how that breath impacts the body. Maybe checking in with the thoughts as well. Is the mind still racing? Can you just notice everything about the body and the breath? Let that be the task that the mind has today. Letting everything else just fade away. Come back to it later. Right now, it's all about the breath, all about the body. Keeping those two connected. Setting an intention, just a little word or phrase, a little motivation or a goal, a little mantra, whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be complicated, it doesn't have to be this deep, profound thing. It can be, I'm cute, I'm adorable. Maybe you need a little encouragement, maybe you need a little self-love, a little word to pep you up. Maybe it's I'm strong and you want to explore some strength in today's class. I'm courageous or daring. Maybe you want to try something new or try it a different way. Who knows? Whatever you're choosing, let it be authentic. Starting to find now a little bit of movement. Maybe it's another big breath in. Really trying to reach and lengthen through that spine, and then exhale. Maybe it's some other little movements through the extremities, getting into fingers, maybe into toes, little wiggles. Whatever it is, let it be good. Trying to find a little bit more movement. So good. Waking up the body, getting ready. I'm gonna just turn the heat panels on. That's nice. Then if you are in a seated position, let's roll things back and down. Let's lay down on the mat. You can have the knees bent and feet planted, or extend the legs long. Take that nice, good morning stretch. Sweep those arms up overhead. Really reach, reach, reach. Feel that nice through the shoulders. Feel it through the arms. Starting to just kind of wake up, breaking some of that fascia up. Maybe feel it through the ribcage and the torso as you inhale and reach just a little further up. Oh, so good. Beautiful stretch. Take an exhale. Let the arms just hang heavy overhead. So take one more of those. Maybe lengthen it, kicking the legs out or pointing through the toes, feeling it not just through the torso, that upper body, but starting to feel it maybe into the hips or into the feet and the legs as you pull in opposite directions. So good. Take that exhale, let it go, soften, start to hug the knees in towards the chest. Taking that little rock from side to side, nice little massage on the body. Oh, so good. One of my favorites. Feels great on the shoulders, feels great on that low back area. If you sit lots, you're probably hitting all of those places that you'll naturally slouch into, so you're giving them a little love, breaking up some of those tissues. Excellent. Take a little tuck of the chin, find some stillness, and let's really hug those knees in towards the chest. So if you're a little bit more loosey-goosey, let's really focus on squeezing through that abdomen area, kind of working on that little detox of squeeze, and start to activate into the arms. Activate as if you're pulling and squeezing your biceps. Maybe you bring the head and the shoulders up off the ground, rounding into a tiny little ball, but an active ball. So feel everything squeezing together. Maybe you even curl the toes. Maybe you make fists or hold on to the hands. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. And then take an exhale, let everything melt back down onto the mat. You can move nice and slowly, letting that top back reach back down, and then planting the feet down. So good. Reaching the arms out wide, left and right. Excellent. Have the palms facing up and open up the fingertips. Even here, start to just really reach and pull in opposite directions. Excellent. And then start to sweep those arms a little bit more up overhead. Try to keep the entirety of the arm nice and connected. You'll find that spot where the elbows will start to want to reach up off the ground. See if you can keep just having all those little micro adjustments as you wiggle and keep the arms down. Reaching up, the arms probably won't go perfectly straight overhead here. We'll stay a little bit more in that wide shape, but keep that reach happening. Keep those fingers reaching apart. Feel how that activates just a little bit differently, maybe through that underarm or through the arm, and then start to sweep those arms slowly back down, moving really nice and slow, maybe dragging the backs of the hands, feeling the arm connecting down. Great way to notice how many crumbs you have on your floor. As you keep sweeping those arms down, keep the palms facing up as you try to bring the hands closer down towards the hips. So starting with working on warming up the arms and the shoulders, I often do the hips and the legs first, so we'll just mix it up today. Really trying to squeeze those arms in towards the body. Start to really hug that rib cage, start to try to hug the arms against the hips. Feel all of that resistance maybe through the arms and the shoulders. Keep squeezing through those shoulders. And then let's start that journey back up overhead, moving really slow, like inch by inch, moving the hands up, keeping those fingers nice and open, creating more resistance if you want more. So imagine moving through something thick. If you need less, just letting the arms slide. Keep a little tuck to the chin. And start to feel the arch of the back start to adjust and rotate as the arms reach higher up to that low back float up off the ground. Maybe you take a little moment and adjust, tuck that tailbone back under, press the low back down. Feel how that almost makes it harder. Lots of times the back line of our body moves through the shoulder blades, through the scapula to help reach up overhead. And notice my elbows have floated up off the ground, so I'm going to work on adjusting, bringing them back down and re-engaging through my arms and my shoulders. Hands are still reaching open. And then let's bring the hands back down. Starting to inch by inch. Feel that nice little bit of release. Maybe when you get to that T point, you reach the arms out a little more. And then keep them dropping down, trying to squeeze along the body. Coming closer to that rib cage squeeze, and bring the hands close to the hips, at least onto the mat if you can. Trying to touch down all the way, so good. Let's come back to that T position. So start to float those arms back up, and then let's rotate the palms facing downward. So feel that now rotation. You probably notice your shoulders start to roll in. Just take a little moment, roll those shoulders back and down, and have it just be the hands that have most of that twist happening there. Beautiful. And pressing into the arms nice and wide, either at the T, or if you want to bring them in a little closer, the T's a little too intensive. Press into the shoulder blades, press into the top of the neck, take a nice tuck of the chin, start to press into the arms. Press that low back down and see if you can bring one knee up. Plant that foot back down and bring the other knee up. Excellent. So not using the feet to press down either. See if you can use the arms, keep that low back connected, and bring both knees up. Feel that nice connection. Feet can either dangle or come to that nice 90 degrees, hanging out here, and starting to get into the hips. You can either keep the legs lifted and work on tapping one down and then the next, or you can start with the foot down and just bringing one leg up and the next. So this is the most gentle version of keeping that foot down. That helps keep things planted. Or if you're looking for that little bit more, having the feet floating and then just taking that little tap down with the toe, keeping those arms pressing in though. So let this still be about that upper body being nice and active. Feel that core pressing in as you connect more of the spine down. Beautiful. A few more taps with one foot and the next, just really gentle, but with all that extra engagement. Maybe you're feeling that through those outer edges of the hips because you have that torso and those abdominal muscles really focusing and pulling everything in. Beautiful. Taking one more either side. Plant those feet back down. Let the arms relax. Maybe flip the palms back up. Maybe take a little windshield wiper, dropping the knees from side to side. If you can go wide or stay closer together, your choice. Excellent. Noticing this windshield wiper motion, feeling it in at the hips, maybe feeling that little bit of a twist as you roll from one hip to the next. That's coming back to that nice neutral. Plant the hands back down, palms down, roll those shoulders open, connect that spine and take that tuck of the chin. Really feel that upper back pressing in nice and strong. Take that tuck of the tailbone to press the low back down and draw the belly button towards spine. Maybe even take a quick exhale, like that really helps set the body and the spine. Let's bring those knees up to a hover. So maybe do one knee at a time, or you try both legs together. Feel that little bit of balancing on the back. Feel that those arms start to really press down and engage. Really try to keep that pressing down, almost like you're lifting the head up off the ground. Excellent. And then keep the knees and the ankles together. Start to drop the knees over, just towards one side just a bit. We'll get into those obliques, a little bit into the side body, and come on back up through center and off towards that other side. So keeping the arms engaged here if you can. If they soften, that's okay. But try to really force and use the arms to help stabilize. And as you start to rock from side to side. You can move nice and slow and add in that resistance if you want, or you can go a little bit faster without that resistance if you choose. And if you really love these on the obliques and you can extend the legs long, that'll add in some more weight, adding more challenge. As you rock from one side to the next, feel that little bit of pull on the shoulder as the hips start to dip down and the weight probably shifts into that arm. Excellent, just becoming a little bit more aware. Beautiful, take one more to either side. Feeling that squeeze through the core, keep it nice and strong. And back to center, add a bend to the knees if you haven't already, and plant the feet down. And then reach those arms up overhead, flip the palms facing upwards. Take a nice big stretch, maybe link the thumbs, have the palms up, and reach, so nice and tall. And then take an exhale, and the hands come all the way alongside the body. Your choice for palms up or palms down. Take whatever feels better, however you might need to let that go. Maybe walk the heels in a little bit closer. Take a nice big inhale breath, nice big cleansing breath. Breathing it in, and exhale, side out. Feel that little bit of strength through the core. Pressing into the feet. Let's start to float those hips up off the ground. And keep it nice and gentle. Just starting out with like more of a baby bridge pose. Just starting to notice into the feet and the shoulders. Maybe you engage through the glutes and press into the feet a little bit stronger, setting the hips up just a little bit higher. Notice the knees, trying to keep them in line with the hips, not falling open or falling inwards. Good posture happening here. If you want more, press those shoulders down with more intention and maybe interlace the hands underneath the sits bones, actively drawing the hands towards the heels. Feel that openness through collarbone. Beautiful stretch here. Excellent. We'll keep holding for a full breath, finding the inhale, taking the exhale. On that next inhale, release the hands. And you're ready for that exhale, slowly lower down, focusing on that top spine, rolling through that middle spine, that rib cage area. And trying to land that low back in the tailbone once, coming all the way down, letting everything rest. Beautiful. We'll make our way up to a seated position now. So either rock and roll up or roll onto your side, however you want to get there. Come on up towards seated. We'll start just cross-legged just for a moment. If cross-legged isn't your jam, you can kick the legs out long. Take a nice inhale. Let's reach it up. Exhale, hands to heart. So good. Let it feel energizing as you reach it up. Bring all of that in as you draw it in towards that heart center, feeling revitalized. One more nice big inhale. Maybe feel a little sparkly if you sparkle the fingers. Exhale, hands towards heart. Coming into stillness here. We'll take just a seated twist. So I love to just reach for one knee. And with that other hand, I love to press forward and spin around, planting that either by the hip or more towards the tailbone. Take an inhale, get really tall and lengthen, and then exhale if you want to deepen, rotate that shoulder a little farther back, Pressing into the hands. Maybe you gaze over that back shoulder, including the neck and the twist. Nice. Beautiful. Keep lengthening on the inhale. Maybe adding a touch more depth on the exhale. And then slowly releasing back towards center, switching the hands right over, reaching for that other knee. Hand presses forward and opens up and spins around, planting it down. Get really nice and tall. Taking a nice big breath in, and on that exhale, really rotate through the spine and feeling everything start to shift and wiggle, rotating that shoulder back and gazing over that back shoulder. Inhales to continue to lengthen, the exhales to deepen. Might not even be noticeable, might just be something you feel on the inside, a little adjustment or micro adjustment. Beautiful. So good. Slowly release, come on back towards center. Stacking those shoulders right over the hips. Take an inhale, reach it up nice and long. And take an exhale, find a forward fold. So just start to bow it down wherever you land is great. Maybe your fold is here. Maybe you walk the hands out. Maybe you drop the head down wherever you're at. As long as it feels good on your hips, your low back, that is the goal. I love to find a little movement. Lately I've been doing the sway from side to side. Maybe like stillness, you can hang out in stillness. Maybe you pulse a little up and down. Your choice. Listen to your body here. What do you need? Beautiful. Let's walk those hands back up. Coming back up towards that nice seated position. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Let's extend the legs long. Coming more towards that staff pose, making that nice L shape with the body, activating into the feet, being mindful of the knees and hyperextending. Take a nice inhale, find some length through the spine here, so getting into those postural muscles. Exhale, relax those shoulders back down, unclench the jaw, check in with the muscles through the face. How are we doing there? Give them a wiggle through the toes. Beautiful. Just start to wake them up. Lots of our fascia ends or starts, however you want to look at it, in our feet. So just taking a few little wiggles. Excellent. Coming back to that stillness. Beautiful. So if you were with me yesterday I did a wall hips class. It was wonderful and was very honest. The wall is honest. And then so we worked on raising the leg here. And I realized using the wall how I naturally either lean back or hunch into it for that power. So if you haven't done the class yet, try it. I so recommend it. It was a gooder. Otherwise, we'll just work on it here to really lengthen the spine. So either pressing in to the legs or bringing the hands either right alongside you just to help stabilize. You can take just that gentle lean back. It does make this a little bit easier, a little more achievable. Because what we're going to work on now is just feel like you're squeezing. We'll start with the left side. Squeeze it into the body. Kind of feel that hip kind of roll back a little bit. Feel how now the leg is active. Maybe you feel that through the quad. And then work on floating that foot up to the air. Excellent. Drop it back down. So we'll take 5 of these little pulses. Adjust the hands wherever you need to. I like them in prayer in front. And drop it back down. Beautiful. Here's 3 for the lift. Lower back down. Excellent. And 2. Down. And last one. Keep that length through the spine. Feel that core drawing in as you hold. Beautiful. Lower back down. Take a bounce to the knees. A little shake to the feet. All right, come back to that nice neutral. Try to get those shoulders right over the hips. Keep finding the length. Work with those back muscles. Work with those core muscles. They've got to be engaged here. Take a nice big breath in and exhale. Engage that core. Beautiful. Come into the other leg now, into that right leg. Feel that little squish in as it gets ready to stabilize, and then bring the foot up. Excellent. Lower back down. We'll take 5 of those taps. So here's 2. Excellent. And going for 3. And 4. And 5. So even if the foot Doesn't come all the way up off the ground. Maybe it's just at a tiny hover. Keep working on it. Keep holding here. So good. Lower the leg. Take that release. Let it go. Maybe you just kind of shift the feet forward and back. Okay, one more thing that I want to work on with that, and then we'll get flowing and moving. We just got to warm up and strengthen through those hips first. So finding that length here. Sitting nice and tall, activating into the feet. Beautiful. Left leg reaches up. And take a bounce outwards and bounce it back. So take 5 of these. Opening it up, then closing it down. Trying to sit nice and tall. Trying to really bring those shoulders over those hips. I still got the lead back happening here. But it feels good on the hips, on the leg. I don't know what number we're at. We'll take one more just for funsies. Open it up. Close it down. Sit nice and tall right into that other side. Lifting the leg up. Open and close. Beautiful. Taking it nice and slow. Really focusing in on that hip. Excellent. 2 more. Open and close. Take a little moment and just sit nice and tall. And last one, or one more. Not sure. Bounce it out. Take what you need. So good. Working on those hip flexors. So if you are in a standing pose, as you're using those muscles when you kick your leg out in front of you and hold it, and do all sorts of things like it like that. All right, let's find ourselves in tabletop. Rolling around. Catching the hands under the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take an inhale, start to look up. Take an exhale, round through that spine. Beautiful. Inhale, gazing up, pressing everything. Feel that scoop through the spine. Exhale to round. Inhale to look up. Exhale, take one more nice round through that spine. And come to a nice flat back. Tuck the toes under. Make sure you got all of the toes under. Maybe take a look at the pinky toe. And then work on sitting back onto the heels. So even if it's just like a little bit of a child's pose, maybe walk the hands in. And wanting to just work with the feet real quick here. I've been learning some neat stuff about feet and doing a yoga challenge, and I love it. And it's just kind of fun. So one of the things we did here was even like a cat-cow. So we'd round into our cow, press into it, and then in our cat pose, we would just tuck the pelvis under. Beautiful. Rounding into it here and tucking the pelvis under. So you can stay here if you want more. As you round, press into the hands, lift the knees, coming into a bit of a toe step. Then take that exhale. Everything under, lifting the knees, drawing them in. Maybe you press into the feet. Excellent. Dropping those knees back down, arching through that spine. Let's take one more of those. Pressing into the hands. Knees might float up. Pressing in. Come on back down. Excellent. Walk those hands a little bit farther. Untuck the toes. Maybe give them a little tap if they need that. If you're not used to doing toe work, that might have been a lot on the feet. Beautiful. Let's tuck those toes right back under. Press into your downward dog, lifting the knees and the hips up. Lengthening not just through the legs, maybe this weird plank position, but press into the arms. Maybe re-bend the knees to find that length through the spine, through the arms. This is a much more sustainable downward dog than this weird straight-legged rounded back version. So if that's you, bend those legs. You're working your fascia here. And pressing into the arms, so good. Let's take a little vinyasa, rolling into that plank position. You can drop those knees down and take the exhale to lower. Inhale, just a baby cobra. Really gentle little back bend. Beautiful, and press back up. Maybe through that tabletop position, tucking the toes under and lengthening those hips back up towards the ceiling. Looking towards the front of the mat. Take a few steps, come into a forward fold. Start to pedal out the knees, bending through one side and the next. Maybe you come up a little higher. Excellent. Waking up those hamstrings. Waking up those calves. Excellent. Find that stillness. Inhale, halfway lift. Roll those shoulders back and down. Extend the crown of the head nice and long. Maybe feel a couple of cracks and pops through the spine. Bend the knees, sink the hips, come into chair pose. Lift the arms, either reaching up or hands to heart. Notice, are you scooping through that low back? Can you tuck that tailbone under? Activate into those low back muscles. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sink back into your chair pose. Inhale, reach it up. Exhale, sink. Reach it up nice and tall. Sink it back down. And press all the way up to standing. Reach it up. Take a nice stretch here. Exhale, hands to heart. Standing in that nice strong mountain pose. Beautiful. Connecting with the feet, with the body and the legs. Excellent. Start to shift your weight towards that right foot. Left foot starts to rise up. Maybe to tippy toe. Maybe keep working with those hip flexor muscles, bringing the knee up. If you want a little extra, kick the leg forward. Beautiful. You bend back to the knee. Try to keep the foot lifted as you step back and find a high lunge. Excellent. And you inhale, reach the arms up. The feet closer together will make this easier. Farther apart adds more challenge. So take what you need here. Keep rolling that right hip back. You're feeling something through that left side, starting to feel that stretch. You can have just a gentle bend to the knee, or maybe we deeply bend through that right side. Take an inhale to lengthen, and an exhale to deepen. Beautiful. Exhale. Start to bow the legs down, and drop that back knee down, coming into a nice low lunge. Really bend through, I'll move my arm, really bend through that right knee, sending the knee over the ankle. And it's so funny, there's so many thoughts and opinions over that every time you go up a stair, your knee goes over your ankle. Every time you take a step or a jog, your knee goes over your ankle. So try to keep your ankle planted down and start to feel that stretch through the ankle and into the calf. You can adjust that back leg as you need to. If you never practice this motion because you've been afraid of letting the knee journey past the ankle, then odds are you've got some weakness through there. And so as you start to stretch and get into it, we're stabilizing. We're working with those muscles that often don't get any attention. Probably killing Rachel and her ankles. She was still loving it. Beautiful. We'll take one more breath here. Keep holding. Excellent. Start to release that knee. And we'll just take that little runner stretch. We'll just start to lengthen that right leg. Maybe it's just a baby runner stretch. You can come up, bring your hands onto your hips. You can keep a bend to the knee. You can lengthen and flex the toes. You can add the bow forward for more intensity. The more you forward fold, the more you're actually pulling on the glute, the back line of that leg. So that's where the deepness comes from. Beautiful. Just taking that nice counter twist or counter pose, but you're still actually working with the ankle. If you flex through the foot here, you're still working those ankle muscles, which is really awesome. All right, we'll start to release this, coming forward. Either planting the hands alongside the foot or bringing the forearms onto the knee. As we start to tuck those back toes back under, we'll raise the knee, coming back up into that high lunge. Take a nice big inhale, reach it up, and then open it up. Find your warrior two. Fun little transition. You might need to adjust that back foot. Bending through the knee, nice big reach. Keep pressing that right knee open, finding openness through the hip. Hands can hang out on the hips, or if you want more for those arms and shoulders, keep reaching it out. Big breath in, big exhale. Let's take a little reverse warrior. So right hand flips up, reaches up towards ceiling as the left hand draws back, or hand can hang out on hip. Just getting into that side body, maybe you sink into that right knee a little more as you feel that openness through that right rib cage. Maybe you feel it through that left inner thigh. Beautiful. Come on, back up. Warrior two. So good. Exhale, drop the hands down, and maybe you heel toe that foot back in, and then look towards the front of the mat. Take a nice big step towards the top. We'll flow that out. Taking an inhale to reach it up, and exhale to bow it down. Option to just hang out in your forward fold if you don't want a vinyasa. This always feels really great. Take that inhale to rise up halfway and lengthen that spine. Keeping that length, bend the knees, plant the hands, stepping back, find your downward dog. Just taking a nice stretch here through the arms. Roll into that plank position. Option to drop the knees or keep them lifted. As you chaturanga or lower down, take an inhale, find your back bend. Maybe it's baby cobra. Maybe you press until those arms lifting more. Keeping those ears far from shoulders. Tuck those toes under. Maybe press right back into downward dog, or maybe move through tabletop, your choice. Lengthen it nice and long, so good. Finding that nice breath. If you're in a forward fold, start to step back towards your downward dog. Taking that half lift, planting the hands, stepping back. And we'll make our way onto our front body. So either dropping the knees down or rolling into that plank position. Take that lower down and come all the way down. Reach those arms out wide left and right, coming into that nice T position. And pressing into fingertips or tenting through the fingers. Start to press into the tops of the feet. Take a wide arm cobra. Start to lift, feel that back bend. Roll those shoulders back and down. Press into the pelvis. Press into the fingertips to help support you. Excellent. One more breath here. Exhale. Lower all the way back down. Bring the hands underneath the shoulders. And start to press up. Keep those elbows hugging in towards the ribs. And take that cobra. And pressing into the hands. Exhale, lower. And then press back. Take a child's pose. Tucking the toes under. Keep the knees together here to have that nice rounding through the spine. Nice counter from the back bend. Pressing into those hands. Start to float up towards your downward dog. Activating into the arms, straightening through the legs. Maybe pedal out the legs. Excellent. Maybe work on taking a bunch of tiny steps towards your forward fold. At some point, the hands will probably need to lift up off the ground. Take an inhale, take that half lift. Roll those shoulders back and down. Bend the knees, sink the hips, sweep those arms up, find that chair pose. Inhale to lengthen, tuck that tailbone under, exhale, sink it down. I like the little movement of the arms coming to heart, and then reaching up, exhale, sink. Inhale, reach, exhale, drop it down. Beautiful, find some length, bring it down and hold, holding here. Find that strength, press into the heels. Maybe you lift the toes up off the ground. Beautiful, plant those toes back down. Maybe you lift the heels up off the ground. Beautiful, plant those heels back down. Press all the way up to standing. Take a nice big stretch up. Exhale, hands to heart. Take a few breaths here. Recentering, restabilizing. The inhales and the exhales. Nice, strong mountain pose. Feel the feet connected. And inhale, just take a nice big stretch. Reach it up, optional back bend if you want it, if you like those back bends. Come on back up. Bring the hands to heart. Start to shift the weight in towards your left foot now. And your right foot starts to rise up, maybe just to tiptoes. Even if you extend the leg here, that still counts. Or you could bring that knee up a little higher, squeezing it in, and using those core muscles. Use that standing leg nice and strong. Maybe work on extending that leg just for a moment. So good, bring it back in. And step it back if you can, all the way to that high lunge. Take an inhale, reach it up. Adjust the feet as needed. Roll that left hip back, press right hip forward. Maybe the feet hop a little bit closer. Maybe you bend a little deeper into that left knee. Your choice. Let it feel good on that right quad, right hip flexor. Inhale, reach it up nice and tall. Exhale, bow it down. Either framing through that front foot or just dropping that back knee down and coming towards that kind of low lunge. But instead of just moving the back knee back, just press the hips of the knee forward, bringing the knee over the ankle. Maybe a little block here that you need to press your hand on. That might work. Try to keep that heel pressing down. Maybe a passive stretch, just the foot and the ankle doing their thing. Or you can work on pressing the heel down or pressing the big or the ball of the toe down, kind of shifting back and forth. Working through the knee and the ankle here. Working on stretching up. My Achilles are always very tight. And so this I've really enjoyed practicing and doing at home just to try to find some openness there. One more breath. Try to soften. Notice where you're holding tension, maybe through the shoulders or through the hips. You let that go. And then we'll start to release that. Coming back through and taking that more of that runner stretch. You're just lengthening through the left leg. My left just will flex through the foot. You can be up high or even holding onto a couch or chair. And add in that fold. Just explore the pose. Maybe the side is totally different. Maybe take a little rock from side to side. One more breath. Take that nice inhale. Find a little length through that spine, not hunching through those shoulders. Take that exhale. Start to come back towards that lunge position as we get ready to come up, either planting the hands down or planting them onto the leg, tucking right toes under. Lift the leg. Sweep it up. Take that inhale, finding that nice high lunge position. And then exhale, open it up, bring that right hand back, finding your warrior two. Adjust the feet, sink it down, bending through that left knee, pressing into the right foot. Hands can hang out on hips. Keep pressing the left knee open or towards the back. Excellent. One a little more, reach the arms out. Still take a squeeze through those shoulder blades, open up that collarbone. We'll take a little reverse warrior. Left hand flips up, reaches up towards the ceiling as the right hand either hangs out on hip, you can slide down the leg, or you can even tuck behind the back. Feel that extra core engagement. Keep sinking into the left knee, feeling it through the rib cage as you reach up. Come on back, warrior two. And get ready to step towards the top of the mat. So either wiggling that back foot in, or looking forward, taking that nice big step. Take an inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold, down, down. Hold here. Maybe pedal out the knees. Maybe you bend the knees and rest the torso on the legs. Feel that on the low back. Let the head hang heavy. Give the head a little shake though. Release the neck. Maybe reach for opposite elbows. Feeling that extra weight through the torso. Really feel into the heels, into the toes. Feeling balanced on the feet. Switch which forearm is on top, holding the opposite elbow. Release the hands. Take an inhale, find a halfway lift, lengthen through those legs. Bend the knees, plant the hands, take a nice big step back, find a downward dog, hold here. Press into those arms. Maybe pedal out through the feet. Check in on how the ankles feel after opening up. The ankles, maybe the ankles press down a little bit more, maybe the ankles are a little bit straighter. Option to drop the knees into child's pose or take a vinyasa and then child's pose. So maybe you roll forward, finding that plank position. Make the exhale to lower. Inhale, take your back bend as you rise up. Exhale, finding downward dog. Drop the knees nice and wide. Sit back, take your child's pose. Maybe keep the toes tucked under, maybe you untuck the toes, your choice. If you want to keep working on the feet, keep the toes tucked. Let the body start to soften, let the shoulders relax. Connect with the breath, with the body. If you need a little variety, maybe start to bring those elbows in closer towards the knee. Or maybe you even reach those hands back, reaching for the heels. Bringing the hands under the shoulders. And starting to press up. Finding yourself making your way into a reclined position, laying on the back. So flipping things around. And coming on down. Bending the knees and planting the feet. Let that spine reconnect with the floor. Rolling those shoulders back and down. Softening the jaw and the shoulders. Let's hug that right knee in towards the chest. Wrap the hands around the knee or hug the leg in deep. Option to hang out here. We'll walk that left foot a little farther forward. Maybe you extend the left leg completely. You can draw some circles with the big toe of that right foot. Just working through the ankle. And go the other way. Keeping the shoulders relaxed. And maybe finding a few breaths of stillness here. Working on releasing any tension that you could feel, probably through that outer edge of the hip. See if you can soften. Soften into the low back. Soften into the left foot. Letting the breath be full. Starting to relax that right side, not squeezing it in as deep. We'll get ready to come into a twist. And so reaching onto that right knee with the left hand, the right arm can reach out long, and roll onto that left side. You can still do even if you've had the foot. Just have a little bent knee variety. That left knee can either bend or extend long. Feeling a nice rotation through the side, through the middle of the body. Releasing the hands from any bind you might have, holding that right knee. start to bring yourself out of the twist. And plant both feet back down on towards it. Taking a tuck in the chin. Feeling that low back connecting in, feeling the spine. And then hugging the left knee. Extending the right leg long, or a little bit longer. Nice big squeeze through that left side of the hip. Trying to soften through the shoulders. And maybe you start to draw some circles now with that left ankle. And you go the other way with your circles. And whenever that ankle wants to rest, just find your stillness. And you keep squeezing that leg in a little bit tighter. Relaxing through the left knee, the left hip. Relaxing the shoulders and the arms. Relaxing the right hip, the right arch of the foot. And taking a few breaths in softness and in stillness. And then starting to relax the grip on the left leg. Holding the left knee with the right hand. The left arm reaches out wide. Start to roll onto that right side. Either with the leg extended, or if you want to try this with the knee bending up and in. It feels kind of neat. Just an extra little bit of support through that left ankle. It might plant on top of the right leg. Letting the body soften. And the body really feel heavy. And slowly releasing any binds in the twist. Bringing the knees up towards ceiling, feet planted in. Hug the knees in towards the chest. Bring both of them in. Maybe round into a tiny little ball. And release the head and shoulders back down. And finish up with a little happy baby. You're holding the outsides of the knees, sending the feet up towards ceiling, or reaching through for the feet. And drawing those knees in towards the body as the soles of the feet. Imagine they're connecting with the ceiling. And then taking a few moments for a little freestyle. Is there any other pose or movement you want to take before you settle into your shavasana? Starting to play around. Maybe you want a little cobbler pose. It probably feel pretty good on the hips, finding some openness. Brings the soles of the feet together and the knees flop open. You can do that right from your happy baby, or you can connect the feet with the ground to do so. Take what you need here. At any point that you feel ready, you can find that final pose if you're done with your freestyle. But if you're still playing around with something, let it be good. Try to find some balance if you're doing something specific to one side. And then on the other side. And then and you find yourself in, let it be good for your posture. Let it take up maybe a little bit more space. Making room for a big, full breath. Find a full, complete inhale. Soft, long exhale. Letting the breath be your guide. Taking some time to simply just let the body do what it needs to. As we give it an opportunity to rest, those neural pathways will start to reform and reshape. The body will start to heal and bend. To just focus on a little bit of calm, a little bit of stillness. For my final Shavasana, I've really been enjoying the word peace. Trying to explore what that means in that moment. Peace of mind, peace of heart, emotion, finding physical peace. Maybe even a little spiritual peace. Just fully feeling at rest in every area that you can. Inhaling and exhaling. Coming back to the breath. Remembering your intention from the beginning of class. If it doesn't serve the rest of your day, let it go. Maybe thinking of a new intention for the hours to come. And start to find some movement, some little wiggles and squeezes, letting the body start to really wake back up. Coming back into that physical sensation and awareness. Finding a little more movement, maybe reach the hands up towards the ceiling and bend the elbows, give yourself a nice big hug, wrapping the hands around the shoulders. Feel good. Notice which arms on top. Maybe reach the hands back up and switch. This little shoulder stretch. Nice little self-love. Remind yourself you are amazing. Those arms back up. Maybe take a good morning stretch. Lengthening the arms overhead. Maybe extend the legs. Point the toes. And then roll on to your favorite side. Using that bottom arm as a pillow. A little bend to the knees. And taking a full breath here. And start to press into that top arm. And then rise back up. Taking a few breaths to get there. Maybe the eyes stay closed. Letting the hands just rest on the knees. Take an inhale and lengthen, fix that posture. Roll those shoulders back and down as you exhale. We'll finish class by taking a huge breath that exhales out anything else you hold. Getting ready, big breath in. And exhale, side out. The shoulders really relax. Bring the hands to heart center. in a position of gratitude and thankfulness, thinking of something you can appreciate or be thankful for in this moment. May you have a beautiful rest of the day filled with many moments of joy. May you always be blessed. Namaste.